Hi guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your Star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly what I have been warming, and boy, what a week has it been. There is a lot here on this table to get through, but the reason that I've been so quiet, because typically I will at least put on something, a third video or whatever in the middle of a week, is that I did my filming last Sunday, and then we had a whirlwind week where we had all the windows put in the house. I was repainting like a mad woman in the back room. The trim that used to be in our Florida room was dark brown, like darker than the color of my hair. And the windows that were put in to replace the very bad ones that were aging and the seals were bad, it was just not good. Those windows had been dark brown and the new ones were a white fiberglass, so that meant that I was painting and painting and painting all of those thick window trims that were back there for a couple of days, trying to make them beautiful and white. And then we painted the walls a different color, and then we had to do the ceiling, and other crazy stuff was going on. And so it was a lot. I was exhausted, a little cranky too, but here I am on a very happy sunny Tuesday morning to be able to at least tell you what I've been warming. And because of all the paint fumes and things, I dug out a lot of stuff that I don't typically warm because I felt like that would go better with the paint fumes, if you know what I mean. Because there's at least a couple days here where I probably should have been more patient and not tried to warm bakery or some of my other favorites. Did not go at all with the diminishing fumes from the caulk and the paint and all that. So let's just dive right on into my week of home repair therapy melting. Have a great day, guys, and we'll get started here. And see, I'm still so not right in my brain that I'm trying to get off instead of get started on this video. So let's just dive right on in. So we will start with, I think, a day before all the windows got ripped out and replaced. And these were a couple of really nice green, nice sweet scents. One of them, I'm not so sure if I'm going to order it again, just because every time I melt it, I like it, but I don't love it. But the other one, which just launched in our summer collection, and the summer collection is fantastic. I know I've been talking about it for weeks, but if you're not going to order any other special limited time offer bars over the next couple of months, I know Bring Back My Bar is going to be exciting, and I did just order my kit for that. Whenever it comes in, I will jump on immediately and we'll do first sniffs with that. But as far as LTOs that are summer like that I can see coming down the pike, these, the key lime and grapefruit, you've got your pink pineapple sugar, you've got the strawberry one, the lily and bergamot, and then this coconut one. I think I did 3 out of the 5 this week. Just beautiful, beautiful, happy, great summer scents. So please try them. Anyway, key lime and grapefruit. This one you've heard me talk about a few times, because it was also in a whiff box a couple months ago as a special sneak peek. This really is just sweet sugar crystals, a little bit of grapefruit, and a lot of key lime. So it's zesty and tart, but it's not too edgy. It doesn't have a bitterness or anything. It's just really nice and zesty and sweet and happy, and I will definitely melt more of that over time. The banana leaf and bamboo is the other scent where I like it in the clam. It's interesting. I know it's got peach, it's got mahogany, it's got the bamboo, but when I warm it in my house, it tends to make me feel a little bit irritated. So I'm not sure exactly what that combination of maybe my home and the notes of this bar are that don't get along 100%, but I'm probably just going to use up this and not get any more of that. I've also ordered it as a scent circle. It was nice and strong, but I definitely didn't like it in that product. It had even more of whatever the note is that over time I've come to not like the combo of. It might be the peach and the bamboo because I like the mahogany. So another day I did an entire clam of tangerine and sugarcane, which was just recently available in our little flash sale. Well, it was kind of a big flash sale, but I got a very small haul. I only got 4 bars of it. I still have the little box in the basement, and maybe I will drag that up and do a short flash sale haul video next if I've got energy. But there are 4 of these in there, and it's very nice. But the day that I did that, I probably should have put it in bedrooms because I didn't smell it very well out here. It's a lovely, sweet, creamy, light tangerine scent. I don't want to say creamy in the sense of like it's got a vanilla to it, but it's not sharp. It's not overly pithy or anything. It's just a nice, light, bright, juicy tangerine. It was good, just doesn't throw very well. So then another day I was doing a bunch of coconut and tropical type stuff, the tropical coconut nectar that's in the 5-bar summer grouping with the cute little flamingo bag that we as consultants were not allowed to have when we did our early access orders. Oh, this is so nice. This is very sweet. It's definitely like a slushy tropical drink, but in wax. It's got the creamy coconut. I think it's got some mango. Maybe there's some pineapple in here. I'm not sure. But it's really light and just juicy and delicious. So that is very, very good. The next one, which I've been using up, is Soak and Raise. This was in the catalog, I think, the spring before this one. I knew it probably wasn't going to come back because there is kind of an odd, I would call it a pollen note when you start melting this bar. But I love all of the white sunscreen beachy florals, and after about the first half an hour, for me, that leaves. And unlike the banana leaf and bamboo, where the longer I warm it, the less I like it, the Soak and Raise, I like it more and more as the scent seems to mellow, and I really enjoyed that in my home. It's similar to the tiara and coconut that's already in my club. It's kind of like your soft plumeria, not exactly. It's kind of like, there was another one, something Petals and Zest that I've forgotten about from a couple years ago that also had orange in it. I've got a couple bars of that, and that's also a light, floaty, beautiful sunscreen kind of a smell. I like all of those, and none of them really offend me, so that was great. And I do have a couple more bars, and I'll be a little bit sad when I'm out, but I'll just go back to my tiara and coconut, which is an even nicer version of the same concept. So then we have here a couple that I was doing, I think yesterday, enjoying the fruity, juicy, summery scents. Aloha Orchid from last summer. It was one of our scent of the month offerings. I love this bar. It is so good. And I do have friends in the wax community who do not like this one, kind of the way that maybe I didn't like the mahogany and banana leaf and bamboo mixture of those notes, because there's just something in here that their nose is off. For me, it's perfect. It's got orchid, it's got island fruits, it's got everything that is just bright and maybe a little bit of coconut and just amazing. So I don't know when we offered this last. I don't think it's come back in any flash sales, but if you have any of that and you like, the other one that's similar is Bora Bora Blossom, which I did take out of my club because I have a whole stack, and if I really need one, I can ask a friend who has it in her club still. But they are similar, but the Bora Bora Blossom is definitely creamier, and that's a little bit more bright. So good. So then I paired that with Pink Pineapple and Sugar, which is in our current summer 5-bar bundle collection. Oh, this is so nice. This is sweet. It's definitely body care. You get lots of sugar crystals, a little bit of creaminess here, truly creaminess. And the pineapple is that mellow, sweet pink kind. Oh man, great bar, but not super strong. So then here's the day where I think I just didn't put the right things in the warmer, because we had caulk, we had paint, we had ceiling paint, we had just things that made my little house not that great smelling, and bakery did not go well with that. So I'm gonna save most of my teddy bees for the end, but this was all together as a concoction and it did not go well. Cherry Vanilla Biscotti. This is the one thing that I ordered, whatever it was, the last couple times that I've gotten anything from teddy bees, where I just don't like this as it melts out. And this has vanilla bakery dough, shortbread, cherry, and almond. And there must be something either in the vanilla bakery dough or the shortbread oil, because there are other scents like Cozy Cookie Cake. Love it up front, but the longer that it warms, it gets a sharp note. And there are some other bakery mixes that I have from TB's that there's this weird, sharp something that to my nose is offensive, and this had it in spades. So after talking about this, I am literally just gonna get rid of it. I'm sad because there aren't very many scents where I need to do that, but there is just something in that mix of oils that is, it's just fake. It smells chemical, it smells nasty, and I'm loving almost all of the things that I've ever gotten from this company. And sometimes Scentsy will have something like that. It's very rare, but it wasn't good. So then I also was doing a couple of other bars, Stroopwafel Delight, and it was with the same, paint fumes deal, and Frosted Cinnamon Roll. And I usually love Stroopwafel Delight, but I found this to also just not jive all that well with the other things going on in my house that day. And I will not be taking this out because this has always been one of my favorite bars, but I'm also wondering if this was just a very, very old bar and it was slightly turned because it had that icky sharpness that I never feel like that was Stroopwafel Delight. And then Frosted Cinnamon Roll, I did take this out of my club. I'm kind of hoping it'll come back this fall. We'll see. because I've also got pumpkin cinnamon swirl and some other stuff. This was the best of all these different bakery things that I was trying to do as the paint fumes were receding. And this one didn't get sharp or weird, but bakery and paint and caulk don't mix. So just if you're gonna be taking on a home project and you still wanna melt your stuff, don't do bakery, it's a bad idea. So then what did work were all of the fresh, herbal, and clean type scents that combated those other odors in my home for a couple of days. And I normally do not melt these because I really have to be in the mood, or it has to be an emergency like this. I have a little bit left of NHL fresh ice. This is the perfect thing to throw in your warmers if you are doing home improvements and those smells are in your house. This is sandalwood and mint, and it's super fresh and nose clearing, but it paired well with the paint fumes and covered them up instead of making them seem worse. Nice and strong, super fresh. I don't think we're gonna offer this again. I don't even know when or if they will renew their NHL license, but I liked that, and I would pick up one more bar. I've had that for a long time because you only need like 1 cube in a warmer. It's super strong. And another thing that I had going in the kitchen was open air exploring. This is also super fresh and beautiful. This is from Father's Day, and I love this trio of Father's Day bars. This one has jasmine and a nice, airy, slightly woody to me in the background. I don't even know if that's in the notes. And fresh air, not masculine in the sense of like cologne heavy, but just really nice bar. I enjoyed that very much. And then rosemary and mint I was doing because that went pretty well with paint fumes too. And this was in our 4-bar collection for the mental health awareness. Now that was available as a collection where you'd make a donation if you purchased that last month. This month, all 4 of these, and I just threw 4 chamomile and vanilla in a club shipment. The rosemary and mint, the lavender and bergamot, the chamomile vanilla, and then the last one I think was a light citrus scent that was orange, and I'm forgetting the name. You can now go and get as many of those as you want through club. If you do not want to carry a club for forever, you can just do a one-time, just do a monthly club, fill it with all the things that you want, and then when you get your shipment, just cancel your club. And that way you can get, if you just wanted 1 bar, because for me, it was the chamomile vanilla that I fell in love with. This is nice. The others were nice, but I don't need more of them. And I may even actually put the chamomile vanilla into a club permanently, but for the moment I wanted extras, so I did a special little rush order shipment for this month because I don't have a regular club in June where I can get some of those and melt them happily, because I think I'm out of that beautiful chamomile vanilla and I want to melt it in alternate warmers with pinkberry sandalwood, which is slowly becoming one of my other favorites from the new releases. This is so good. It's gentle, it's got the pinkberry, it has sandalwood, I think it has some vanilla, it's got cherry. It's just a nice, warm, gentle, cuddly, happy scent, and this pairs beautifully with that slightly herbal, but also very soft and cuddly chamomile vanilla. So that is great. The rosemary and mint is just nice and fresh and herbal and clean, and I just put a couple of cubes of this in my warmer in the back room. So now the back room with all the white trim. My family decided that Mama needed to just quit doing green, which made me a little bit sad, but we went with a really buttermilk kind of a cream. So it's not quite yellow, because I've done yellow all throughout the house in the past and we're totally over that, but it isn't beige and it's not taupe or anything that would be sad. You get lots of light in that room, so now there's this super bright, light, fresh, happy color. It feels as though the space is at least a quarter larger visually than it was with the dark brown trim and the medium green walls, which I will miss because brown and green are my favorite colors. Nobody's making me give this wall up yet though until we remodel for real down the road. That'll be several years. But eventually this wall's gonna get ripped out, and if I'm still doing Scentsy, I don't know where I'm going to film because I'm gonna lose all of my good walls that are in the front room. But that's a conundrum for another day, right? So that was great, and I was totally rambling, and I do not remember where I'm going with this, but the back room looks totally different. I changed my warmers. I now have the coastal light back there. I've got the cutest little baby mini sea urchin mini that we haven't sold that in years. That's in the back now too. And I threw in a bunch of woodland meadow one of the evenings that I was in painting mode. Oh, this is so good. This is in the catalog. This is slightly cologne. It's got wood, it's got daisies, it has kind of a, not exactly grassy, but a fresh herbal meadow scent mixed with all that. So it really teeters between fresh and cologne and woodsy. Such a good spring summer scent without it weighing you down. Try that Woodland Meadow if you have not. It was great. So then another day I was doing more bakery, and this was, I think, after the fumes had subsided, so we were doing much better. I love butter pecan. It's so good for a drizzly, cold, rainy, yucky evening. So it's a sweet, creamy, nutty, warm vanilla scent. Nice and heavy, throws very, very well. And I had that going in all the warmers, and it was just fantastic. So then I think in the kitchen, I was doing some very vanilla at the same time. This is another new release from spring summer. One of my favorites. It's the one that I'm using the most, and if they decide that they don't want to carry this through till fall, I will totally be clubbing this. A couple weeks ago, I took a poll on Instagram, and I'm sorry I haven't been on. It's just been too crazy. Hopefully this week things will kind of get back to more normal, and I'll get back to posting and all that. But I did a poll, and you all really were supporting Simply Vanilla, and some of you were supporting Vanilla Cream. I have kept both of them in my club, but for some reason, even though Very Vanilla doesn't throw as well, I love the scent profile of this, so I'm just enjoying all three at the moment. When the moment of truth comes and we see the next fall winter catalog, and then I can see what other bars that I've saved from last fall winter can go, then I have to make some decisions on which vanillas I am or am not going to keep, because I'm also really desiring to combine my two clubs into a quarterly, but that will depend very, very much on what is coming back fall winter catalog, and then I've got to make some very tough decisions, because another thing that I was doing, which I've been telling you a little bit about, is a lot of sorting and just tabulating the things that have, after being in this house for over 20 years, they've all crept into my basement storage area, which looks like an explosion of home goods and Michaels plus Scentsy. And the number of bars that I've got, as I've mentioned before, I really do need to cut down my clubs, because there's a point at which your backstock is so deep that, like that Stroopwafel Delight over there, I'm doing disservice even to melting the wax, because some of it's getting to be too old. So, you know, most of us that do wax for a living and or is your great passion as far as a hobby, eventually you cross this bridge where you want to keep intaking wax, but you cannot get it melted fast enough, and you still want to try all the new things. So I will be having a very hard talk with myself after we get the new list for fall winter. Now, SFR is about 6 weeks away. I'm not going, but I did have a persuasive chat with my director and my husband, and I invested in the kit for virtual, the whole kit, which is not cheap. I will be getting a shipment of all the goodies that the people that are at this wonderful 20-year hoopla will be getting. So all of the things, if any of you do even just the very inexpensive, I think you can still sign up for this if you're a consultant, just the virtual of the sessions, but you don't get any of the perks, don't get any of the giveaways. You can watch all these things, and then most of that will be available for purchase in August if you are a consultant with the new season sales kits and things like that. But there are certain things that you would only get at SFR, and I made the investment, so when that box comes in the mail, I will open it with you guys. So we will have a post SFR giveaway goodies shipment haul special thing where I will talk to you about all the things that I saw, because obviously I will watch as much of the sessions as possible, because I also have access to that when you do the like deluxe version of the virtual SFR. So I'm super excited about doing that, and I'm hoping that in the transition of those couple of weeks, I'm hoping that they will ship those to us quickly, and that we don't have to wait a couple weeks delay from when people at SFR get them. But I don't believe that we'll get them during the conference. We'll have to wait, and they'll be shipped. So please, Scentsy, be fast with that. I really will be very excited to sniff the things that will be given away. But when I get a catalog, or at least that telltale list that somebody usually leaks during SFR, then I can go and look at my club, and things like cinnamon bear, clove and cinnamon, stuff that I just do not ever want to be without. Hopefully those will come back. If they didn't, then I'll be keeping them, and then I got to decide what else I can get rid of, because I just almost have to either ruthlessly cut both of my clubs or combine them and cut them some. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is going to be a long video, but that's good because it's probably the only one this week unless I get my summer shipment. I did the summer collection. I closed out a nice party with that, and I also threw in the Inside Out bars. So we'll do a separate video on that and my Bring Back My bars. Those are all in this same shipment, so I don't know how long it'll take to get to me, and then we'll have like 3 exciting videos to do. But back to the bars I was melting. I finished up the last couple cubes of Summer Holiday. This is a really, really nice bar. I've talked about this, I think even just the consecutive week back because I was getting through this in bedrooms. It's a classic that is now only in my quarterly club. It was my favorite spring summer bar of all time. Really, it kind of still is, but you can't get it in the catalog anymore. So it's got vanilla, it's got amber, it's got tiger lily, it has orange, it's sweet. It's similar to Endless Weekend from Bath & Body Works, and it's just gorgeous. Another thing where I just threw a couple of cubes in my Coastal Light Warmer in the back is the Peter Pan Sweet and Sassy. I have a whole pile of this, and I took it out of my club for, reasons like what I was just sharing, but man, this is one of my favorite fruity bars of all time. It's got kiwi, it's got tangerine, it's light and bright and super happy and sassy, and I hope that someday they'll re-release that and I'll get another whole pile of it. Okay, Velvet Moon. Here's another one that's kind of like the banana leaf and bamboo. I smell it in the clam. I like the scent. I put it in my warmers. I want to take it out. And with this one, it's almost immediate. There is just something about the muskiness in this, and there's actually a Teddy Bees that I'm going to talk about where I like it better and I'm going to melt it, but I'm kind of struggling the same way. I know Velvet Moon was a runaway hit a couple falls ago. It's got vanilla flower, and it's got like this musky suede thing going on. It just doesn't like my house. So I need to not order more of that. Okay, now we're getting down to things that were either in bedrooms or a couple things that were in the basement, and then we'll do the rest of my Teddy Bees. So Strength, this was from Mother's Day. I believe that collection is now retired and not available. This was so nice. I got several bars. It is an interesting concoction of peach and lemon, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful bar. If they were to bring that back again, I will definitely get more. Not that they're going to. Coastal Sunset. I only put 2 cubes of this in my older daughter's warmer. Oh man, you could smell this throughout the house, and it was fabulous. So there are different types of coconut. You've got sweet coconut, you've got musky coconut, and then there is this other coconut that's something like in coconut cotton. It borders on musky, but in a way that offends my nose, and that's what I'm slightly struggling with this one Teddy Bees loaf I've got. But this is the right kind of coconut for me with some suntan bronziness to it. It's almost nutty, and it's got this amber thing. Oh my goodness, and it throws like a beast. You got to get yourself some of this. This is what I call my beach hippie scent. It is so good. Okay, Crazy Coconut. Now this is a children's kind of a scent. It's very sweet, it's fun, it's kind of just happy and definitely not serious. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this because it has that chapstick coconut that's an older Scentsy kind of oil. Coconut Palm has it too, but the Coconut Palm, that bar, which I haven't melted yet this summer, and I will, that has a little bit of patchouli and a little bit of green. So that leans more sweltering summer. You want to put it in your warmers when you are struggling with the heat outside because they just go together. This is more just like unicorn farts and, cotton candy. And it's fun. So I put this in the basement for several days. Now, does it smell artificial? Absolutely. But sometimes artificial is just right. I'm a child of the 80s. I was bombarded by artificial smells with my strawberry shortcake dolls and my My Little Ponies. I honestly think those might have been the gateway drugs to Scentsy. I don't know. But so I enjoyed that. But it's fruity. It's totally not serious. And it smells like plastic coconut in the best way possible. And then Honeymoon Hideaway. This bar got to be too old. It just did not smell right when I put it in the warmer. It almost smelled like root beer. So this is another one of those, like Elizabeth, melt the bars that you have, cut down on your intake, and slow your roll a little bit because you're not doing service to your wax when you hoard it. So now the rest of my Teddy Bees. I've got some fantastic scents here where, sometimes, because that's a totally different thing than Scentsy, you can only get certain scents at certain times and you could never see it again, or it could be a couple years, it could be, and I have a couple here where I'm gonna want more when these are gone, so I hope they'll come back. So first off, I did the last little sliver of Lavender Bonfires. This was in my bedroom. Oh, so nice, you guys. I wasn't super impressed with the first smelt that I did of this when I'd gotten my pre-order haul a couple months ago. I melted it and melted it. figured out that the bedroom is the only place that it does super well. This has sweet lavender, cashmere bonfire, toasted marshmallow, and a hint of vanilla balsam. It's beautiful. I would probably get a tub if this ever comes back. I'm sure it will at some point, but it's only a bedroom scent for me, but it's gorgeous. Now, my favorite tea bees thing I melted all week, and it was a rainy, gross day. I don't think anyone else, please, if you do teddy bees and you love this, let me know, loves this particular scent. It just stayed in the order column on her website for a long time last year, way past what most of them did. This is called Praline and Woods, and it's a fall scent, yes, but I was just craving it. This is so good. It's kind of, I mean, it's different, but it's kind of got a little bit of the butter pecan from Scentsy, and then it has all this other white cake, and oh, it's so amazing. So this is toasted pecans, praline candy, spiced white cake blended with soft woods. So the woods, I like the white cake oil for sure. I'm finding that out. And the praline and the pecans, sign me up, please. I have another whole loaf, and I had given some of this to my friend Robin because she loves it too. I hope to see that back at some point, and I'll get a couple more loaves if I can. I just don't know if it'll ever be popular enough to get voted back, but wow, is that good. So then the next one, which I am pretty confident I can get this down the road again, is the Dornishman's Wife. I had just cut a little sliver a couple weeks ago, said I couldn't really smell it that well in my bedroom, but then I did it again in my bedroom, and I put a big chunk in the Florida room. Wow. I had just melted Bonfire Beach from Scentsy last week, so that was pretty fresh in my mind. And then I put the Dornishman's Wife out there. If you take Bonfire Beach from Scentsy, you add blackberry, and you take out a little bit of the sea salt, there are very similar wood and marshmallow notes in this, and it's fantastic. I would love to get a loaf of this. Palo Santo, blackberries, marshmallow fireside, and the slightest hint of lemon. So the blackberries and the lemon change some of the personality, but it's got the same baseline as Bonfire Beach. And it's so good. So if you have the Dornishman's Wife, and you know, if your convictions allow you to melt it sooner rather than later, please try that out sometime this summer. It's fabulous. And it is almost more of a early fall scent because of the blackberry, but that marshmallow and that beautiful Palo Santo wood is just, it's fantastic. And if you're already preconditioned to like Bonfire Beach from Scentsy, you will love that. Okay, so now down to my problem children. Well, this first one's not. Bondi Beach. This is another one where this was in the RTS, and she only poured a few, and people didn't seem very excited about this. This is so good. This is the most interesting smell. Italian lemons, sweet violets, rose tamai, and bergamot. It's slightly salty. It definitely smells like an old-fashioned beachfront hotel. First, I had said maybe something really new and cutting edge, but the longer that I melted it, you get a lot of the rose. So it does almost take you back in time. I live in Michigan. Mackinac Island has the most incredible hotels, especially the famous one where they had filmed Somewhere in Time, which is, I've never stayed there, but the Grand Hotel. And then Petoskey, Michigan, where my husband and I have vacationed, and our family oodles of times. We're going to do it again in August. They have the most beautiful grouping of sort of antique hotels. And this scent smells like their linens. It smells like their bubble bath. It's just so good. So probably this would be a hard one to get your hands on, but if you like rose and you want something that's very comforting in a very old-fashioned way, think Crabtree and Evelyn soaps and things. Get yourself some of this. It's so nice. So then what's left? The last two. Now I've been waiting to melt both of these until the weather got sunnier. The Hamptons, which is gorgeous. This is watermelon lemonade type, salty sea air, and crisp linen. Now, my friend Charity just goes on and on and on about this. I see why. Probably I should have gotten this one in a loaf, but I was a little bit, just wanted to be cautious because linen typically just completely freaks me out, but this is good. And the salty sea air and the watermelon lemonade, it's a little bit light, but it's refreshing and crisp, and I would definitely order this again. Now, here's the one where I'm a little bit conflicted. I'm liking it in the house, unlike some of the others where I don't like it in the house, but my brain says I shouldn't like this smell because I hate coconut cotton from Scentsy. And this doesn't really smell like that, but it's got a little bit of that same, there's a coconut funk that I think when you combine that with either sandalwood or what's in here, cotton? Yeah. This one's got the scent of cotton sheets, ocean air, and fresh coconut. Now, this was one of the darlings of our last pre-order, and people were raving about it, and it's an amazing smell. but there is just something in it that for my brain, it smells like I want to tweak a note. I don't know if any of the rest of you, when you've melted the home fragrance for years, you can get kind of perfectionistic about stuff. I'm gonna melt this, it's gonna be great. I think my family loves it, but like I want it just a hair sweeter. I want the coconut to not be just so fresh and coconut water-like. I want it to have a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of sweetness, and I'm pretty sure that's what my brain is not liking. But this beach blanket is gorgeous, and it's much, much better. It doesn't have the off note that coconut cotton would have, but it's kind of in that same vein for me. So I'm doing it today. I'm taking it in. Probably by the time I get to the end of the loaf, I'm gonna be sad and I'll want more, but it's just one of those scents where I think my brain needs a conversion to completely love it and embrace it, but it's not bad. So, and I know some people ordered like 6 loaves of that when it was available. So, you know, to each their own, but I loved almost everything that was here. I would say if there was a scent that shocked me that I really wish I could get a lot more of, it would be the Dornishman's Way. This was just so good. Because you know, when you melt a lot of things and you're familiar with stuff, you kind of throw something in a warm or you walk away and you forget what you put in the room. And then you go back in and I'm like, I didn't put Bonfire Beach in here. What is that? And I'm like, oh, it's purple. Oh, that's the Dornishman's Way. This is so good. That's definitely this. And with the blackberry, like that is genius. It's so good. So this is Elizabeth Quinn with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. As I said, until I get a shipment of something, I don't really have any other videos that I can think of to do, except I do owe you guys a June melting basket video. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I will try to whip that out next. And then maybe I will do the little flash sale haul, which there's not that much to tell you about, but I could talk about that. So this may be the only big video that you guys get this week. I will get to some other stuff. Love y'all. I miss you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.